Hello everyone, welcome back to the Wii Sports Resort Golf 18 Holes Tournament. Currently we are getting set up for our next match. It is going to be losers round 3, JMBoltz versus TheRealCBTV. If both players could confirm we are ready, and we will start a countdown to get this match underway. This is a best of 5, so it is first to 3 wins. So I have had confirmation that both runners are ready. Good luck to all the runners. So we will start in 5, 4. Oh no, hang on a minute. No. I don't have my timer open. There are so many things to deal with. I will do that now. But both runners are getting PBs that I had been yet to update before the stream, so could be interesting. They're both playing at their peak right now, so we'll see how we do. Okay, and we're both on the restart screen, so we will have a penalty of 3 seconds as a result. We will start the match in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So just muting both players there. We have JMBoltz going for give up 1. We have CBTV playing hole 1. There's a slight difference of strats, mainly because runners choose to give up, so they get easier pin locations. That determines where the hole is on each green. And JMBoltz deciding to do give up 1. Some people do give up 2, some do give up 4. But CB getting a birdie on hole 1. Gonna pull slightly further ahead to start us off here. And CB opting to play give up 2 instead. A lot of the runners doing that. All managing to get pretty much straight into the water, which is a good sign. JMBoltz now playing hole 2. We'll see how this goes.
That's it.
And yeah, both players quite even, as JMBoltz also sinks the birdie there. Yes, I am alone today. You get late night MIDI commentary. Everyone's favourite tied 25th place Wii Sports Resort commentator coming in clutch. So, JMBoltz hitting the tree. It is an interesting strat. It can kind of pay off because it does make the ball stop quite quickly. CBTV going for quite a long putt here, not making it, but it was quite a long putt, so it's okay.
On the green.
See if JMBoltz makes this. Do remember, if the putt is too long, then there will be a replay. That is going to be an overshoot by a fair margin.
Good par.
Do I know when next Resort Fest 18 hole will be? That is a great question that I do not have the answer to immediately. Thursday the 2nd at midnight UTC is going to be Zenon versus Dragons. That's your next match. And CBTV making a birdie on hole 4 there. Interesting, both players opting to play hole 4. Oh, JM almost making that. JM's had some big putts this tournament.
Good par.
So CB going round, curving around the left side of the tree there. It's a good play. And already getting very close to the hole in 2 shots is a really, really good sign of a great hole here by CBTV. It's a good eagle. JMBoltz looking to do the same here. Gonna fly over, but still getting there quite quickly. So gonna just be a shot behind here. Gonna need a bit of a build-up shot to get there.
Great approach. Good.
Gotta remember the lower latitude on the current hole for CBTV. Of course, these runners are very familiar with that, so they will be fine. They will be completely fine. And Managing to sink that putt there. JMBoltz going for a curve here. It's going to hit the tree though. I respect the attempt because of the wind, but yeah, unfortunately not enough power to go past. CB making the fairway on this hole.
That's it. Good par.
Going to go for a fringe shot here. CBTV narrowly missing. It was a straight shot, so there would not have been a replay from that. There are lots of different conditions that go into whether a shot is a replay or not. But a straight shot from there would not have been a replay. So JMBoltz going to have a very tricky putt here.
That's it.
CB with a bit of backspin. Going to also have a bit of a tricky shot. Good putt from JMBoltz.
Good birdie.
CBTV going to have to replicate that here to keep this going. And does sink it. So we have about half a hole lead for CBTV right now. But CB, oh no, JMBoltz almost making that putt there.
Good par.
But seeing how the games have gone down previously, I am expecting that JMBoltz's putts could keep him in the game. That was an unfortunate one there. We'll see how long this takes to stop for CBTV. Gets to the bottom of the hill. Not too bad. That can take a little while if you get stuck there. Bit of a red line here for JMBoltz. Should make it into the water.
On the green.
Almost making that putt again. JMBoltz just slightly off.
Great shot.
So not much backspin on JMBoltz's side. It's going to be a bit of a longer putt as a result. Still making it though.
Good birdie.
So this is interesting here. You're getting east wind for CBTV.
On the green.
JMBoltz missing another putt there. That is unfortunate. And this is a great approach from CBTV. This is looking pretty nice. And it would be surprising to miss this putt. CBTV making an eagle. CBTV is playing pretty well right now.
Nice shot.
So JMBoltz now coming on to hole 12. Both players making the shortcut. JM just hitting the bit of the hill there in the green. So not quite going to get the backspin that you would want there. And that is going to be short, unfortunately. CB approaching hole 14 now. We'll see how this goes. Going to go through the trees, making the fairway.
Great birdie.
And this is looking very good. Great backspin there. Pretty much coming to an instant stop. JMBoltz hitting the pole.
Nice on.
There's no replay because it's too far away. Which is a good sign for speed. Now only missing the putt again though.
Great par.
making 10 dog. We have 0 win for CBTV.
Solid shot.
JMBoltz also making it onto the fairway narrowly, which is a good thing. The ball comes to a stop quicker. Very strong wind against JMBoltz there, though. And yeah, unfortunately going to go into the bunker as a result. So CBTV going for the shortcut here. Gonna make it onto the green. JMBoltz with a short putt, unfortunately. And it's going to be a par on hole 14. CBTV with a long putt there. And this game really has been decided by putting. So CB naturally going for a give up at this stage, knowing his pace. Absolutely the right play. A lot of runners opting to have the other player's perspective up on the restream. So knowing the lead, I think it makes complete sense. You'd have to play pretty well on hole 17 to save any time. So the tournament play, and to be honest, PV play, is to give up hole 17. So we've got 10 northeast, southeast even. So gonna have to go the long route here. Should still be okay though, barring an absolute disaster. Because CBTV does have a pretty wide lead here.
Great approach.
And that might have been another pole here. I was paying attention to JMBoltz's side there.
Good birdie.
Can he go for a spoon? Driver chip doesn't make it, and he goes in the bunker. I think CB knows his pace at this point and wanted to try and finish off slightly quicker. That's an unfortunate roll down the green though. JMBoltz playing hole 18, knowing he needs to do this. Hole 17. CBTV finishing hole 18 though, and that is a sub 11. Jam with the overshoot, unfortunately. And we have one more hole for JMBoltz here, as CBTV undoubtedly takes game number 1.
Solid shot.
Yeah, CBTV with a sub 11 to start us off. And that is including the unfortunate wind and the missed spoon chip. So we'll see what JMBoltz can do here. Could be looking at a sub 12 if this goes in. It's not going to go in, unfortunately. We will get the confirmation of times in a moment. But on screen, that is a 12:02. 10:59 and 12:02 is the confirmation there. So if both players could... So if both players could Wii menu and go back into the game, do your AB checks, we will get set up for game number 2. CBTV takes game number 1. CBTV saying 10:59. I went for driver because it would have been a 35 or something. So, yeah, good decision if there's going to be any chance of salvaging a potential PB or a faster time with a lead, then that is the right play. Would have been a recorded PB. So we have JMBoltz. JMBoltz is ready and lagging. I'll refresh stream. There we go. We appear to be back. Oh, we are struggling. I will just wait until JMBoltz' stream stabilizes. Alright, CBTV just getting set up as well. While we're waiting, I will just read out some stats. So, assuming I've actually updated them this time, JMBoltz' PB is a 10.56, CBTV is a 10.41. They are average times of an 11.50 for JMBoltz and an 11.22 for CBTV. So, a 28-second difference going into this match, excluding the games that are happening in this match directly. So while we're waiting, I have a question for the chat. What is your favorite digit on the timer right now? I'm personally a big fan of the 2. I really love the 2. It's, yeah, great with this font. We've even got 2 of them on screen right now, and there are 2 2s. It's meant to be. I'm a big fan of the 2. I will reset it, unfortunately, so we will only have we will have lots of 0s and 1 3, which is very unfortunate. Personally, I think we should change the restart timing to be +2 seconds instead of +3, so we can always have a 2. Big fan of the 6. Oh, okay. I respect it. I don't mind the 6. The 6 is good. So we will get started very, very soon with game number 2. And I will mention, I should actually mention things that are important rather than yapping about numbers and digits in the Wii Series fonts. We have our next match. This is losers round 3. And the winner of this match will go on to face the loser of Rain versus Sloth. That is seed 3 versus seed 6. So whoever wins this, it will be tricky, but it is still very possible, as we've seen in previous matches. It can go either way in any match. And all matches in this tournament past round 1 and round 2 in both the winners and losers side are best of 5. So lots more in the line, lots more of the line in these now. So we are now ready. So we will get started with game number 2 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And about a 1 second delay there between the players. JMBoltz going for give up 1, as we know. CBTV, assuming no strat change, will be going for give up 2. And CB making the birdie, as we expect at this point, on hole 1. And managing to make it first try into the water. It's a good sign. Pretty textbook start here for both players. However, yeah, JMBoltz with a good approach there, and any closer by a couple of feet, that would have been a replay. So that is exactly what you want. You don't want to be sinking the chip in for the hole in 1, because you will get a replay. And it is slightly slower to do that.
Nice shot.
So both runners actually pretty even again now. It's funny how things work out between the two strats. Of course, we do have about a second of the stream delay, but that does make them even closer. CB just barely missing the hole there. It would have been a hit off the hole regardless, so it would not have gone in. JMBoltz with the approach shot here. CBTV narrowly missing that long part. And JMBoltz, unfortunately, yeah, deceptively difficult putt there. Was a bit of adjusting needed, and unfortunately not enough. Full curve left here for CBTV to cancel out that wind. And that's a fantastic putt by CBTV. It's a bit more of a straight putt for JMBoltz, but still sinks it.
Great birdie.
And that keeps them both very much in the game.
Solid shot.
So CBTV, as usual, going for the curve around the tree. JMBoltz going to do the same. An interesting stat so far as well is we've not actually had any replays yet. Now, I don't expect that to last forever, but that is pretty interesting. There hasn't been one up to now.
Great approach.
And that's another good approach. Not a replay because
Good birdie.
JMBoltz was already fairly close to the hole doing that wedge shot there.
Nice shot.
Great putt by CBTV from the fringe. It's going to be a tricky one for JMBoltz as well.
Nice.
They've stayed on par with each other so far, and this is going to need to go to keep it even. It does go.
Great birdie.
Both players fantastic on the putts right now. Ooh, CBTV narrowly missing the bunker. Makes it in the rough.
Solid
Just narrowly
shot.
missing the fairway, but it is much better than being in the bunker. JMBoltz with the out of bounds. That's going to cost him.
Great shot.
Some very tricky south wind there, south 16. So it is actually impossible to make it over there. It makes it into the bunker, unfortunately. Going to just full send it here with a red bar. Does make it on. That's a great shot from there. What a backup. Oftentimes the runners that know their backups well are going to go very far, and that has definitely helped out JMBoltz here. JMBoltz still behind, but CBTV finishing up that hole there. Now, is this too close? It looks very close. That is going to be a replay.
Great approach.
And that is our first of the match, in fact. So that brings us up to 156. But it took a while to get our first one. That's almost halfway into game 2 before we got there.
Good birdie. Great shot.
JMBoltz making it very much into the rough here, so much that those trees are definitely going to be in the way here. Actually hitting the tree on hole 9. It's going to solidify CBTV's lead a little bit more. Losing the coin flip as well. Going to end up in the rough from this shot. Missing the bunker, interestingly enough. So that's a big red line here. Bit of an interesting interaction with the
On the green.
slanted green for JMBoltz. Managing to clean it up, but that is going to cost him. And this is a little bit further past the hole for CBTV. Now these putts we know CBTV can make. It's a lot of adjustment. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too much. And that's our first real large putting mistake we've seen from CBTV. We've really not seen too many in this game,
Nice approach.
which is a good sign.
Great birdie.
So interestingly, CBTV on hole 12 opting to go the right side. I can only imagine with favourable conditions to do so. JMBoltz,
Nice approach.
that is another replay. In the same fashion, it is a replay approaching the green there. That's 157. And that is our second of the match, both by JMBoltz. Could really do without that. Had that have been the opposite way round, CBTV instead, then that would really even things up. But unfortunately,
Great shot.
that is just what JMBoltz could have done without. That is a phantom shot there for CBTV. 10 southwest.
Nice on.
Managing to make it very much onto the fairway. It's a good red line out of that. Good putt by JMBoltz.
Great eagle.
And watch this approach shot. This is fantastic. A very heavy backspin to go actually past the hole on the other side. Fantastic eagle. JM gonna need to make another fairly long putt to stay in this. Doesn't manage to make it. A CBTV almost a hole ahead at this point.
Good par.
So CB with a very long putt needing to be made here. This could replay if this goes in. Chips the hole, doesn't go in, so there won't be a replay from that. There's only a potential replay with a putter if it actually goes in the hole. So CBTV won't be too disappointed missing that. JMBoltz again on hole 14. That's very close, probably avoiding replay though. CBTV with a good shortcut into the bunker
Good
on hole
birdie.
16. So JMBoltz going for 10 dog. Looking for that respawn, and yeah, fairly close to the hole. On the favourable side of the island. CBTV playing hole 17 here. I can only imagine just to salvage a few more seconds to potentially come close to PB. We know CBTV has been on good paces here. Chipping the hole, unfortunately, so not going to save any time on 17. So once again, barring a disaster on hole 18, that will be a win for CBTV. JMBoltz hitting the tree on hole 16. And that is all but over for game 2. Choosing to go the safer way. And yeah, CBTV again going for the right island. But making it onto the final island in 2 shots, which is not terrible. Gonna have to make a shot from the rough in 17 yards away, so it's not gonna go even with a full power shot. And that is gonna be a 10.54 roughly for CBTV. JMBoltz gonna be giving up hole 17 here, and CBTV takes game number 2 decisively once again. We have confirmation of a 10.54.
Great shot.
JMBoltz just going to clean this one up from the rough in a similar fashion to CBTV.
Nice on.
And it's a tricky part to make this sub 12. Chips the hole, but it's the middle of the hole, so it's going to come to a stop pretty quick. And that is a roughly 12.04 for JMBoltz. So if both players could Wii menu, 12.03 for JMBoltz there. So if both players could Wii menu and do reboot the game and do their A/B checks as usual. Game 2 goes to CBTV. So very consistent times so far. There's only 5 seconds of difference between CBTV's times, 10.59 and 10.54, and a second for JMBoltz, 12.02 and a 12.03. JMBoltz winning the coin flip, opting to play Wii Sports Resort. You love to see that. We are not playing 18 holes in Wii Sports. Not today. CBTV saying 4 sub-11s in a row. That is quite the feat. A lot of people have sub-11 as their goal time in this game, so to see consistent sub-11s coming out is, yeah, good to see. So JMBoltz is ready to go as long as the A/B check has been done. There we go.
Solid shot.
And CBTV now going to go and do the A/B check as well. Okay, so both players are ready. We will start game number 3 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, and the same start as we've seen previously. CBTV opting to play hole 1, JMBoltz giving up hole 1. And then CBTV will give up hole 2 instead. Now interestingly, the wins you get on these holes does make a difference. You would think that these first 2 holes are pretty much irrelevant, but they are not. A JMBoltz getting a strong north wind. That is unfortunate because generally speaking you do want to hold the north winds for some of the trickier holes later. So that could make a bit of a difference. And actually missing the putt on hole 2. It's the first time we've seen any kind of miss by either player on the first 2 holes in this match. So it's going to give CBTV a slight edge.
Nice shot.
Another north wind here for JMBoltz. That may have been east actually. I am unfortunately a low-level runner who does not get out of the habit of looking in the top left.
That's it.
It's going to be a long putt here for JMBoltz. That's 47 feet away. It's going to be just to the left.
Good birdie.
CBTV clipping the edge of the green there. And as a result, the putt does not go in. JMBoltz has a bit of a chance here. Oh, ended up on the fairway there with a straight shot on hole 4. Another very strong wind though for JMBoltz, 20 wind.
That's it.
Just getting a lot of strong ones out of the way already.
Great
And getting
putt.
those ones now means you cannot get those holes, those wins again until, I believe, hole 9.
Solid shot.
So it does make a pretty big difference, especially for these resort holes. JMBoltz actually going right of the tree there. CBTV, the pole hit, is that going to replay? It is going to replay. That is going to be CBTV's first replay of the match. Takes us up to 158. So that will help out JMBoltz a little bit here. Bit of an unfortunate one. The pole hit does massively extend the replay radius compared to just getting close to the hole. So many runners will try to avoid it as best they can, but sometimes it just does not happen. JMBoltz hitting the tree, I believe, after that red bar. And CBTV getting caught by a classic of this hole. We've seen this so many times with this slope. It really catches people off guard. You try and do backspin, and it just doesn't work. It just eats it all up as soon as you hit that curve in the green. Jam with a good approach shot here. 10 northeast for CBTV. Definitely makeable for this fairway. Actually manages to go over. And it's a 0 wind for JMBoltz. It's a good shot there. CBTV missing the putt. That is surprising.
Nice on.
Jam just adjusting a little bit too much there.
Great par.
That's a good shot on hole 8 to get pretty close for CBTV. We'll see how JMBoltz handles this. Pretty similar. Very good shot by both.
That's it. Great birdie.
So CBTV with the south wind here on hole 9 is going to make it into the water. We're expecting the same for JMBoltz here. Actually goes to the bunker. And going for a full red driver here. Gonna make it into the water. This is gonna be a messy one. Not actually making much progress on that shot there because of the respawn. And this is a messy hole 9, so this is unfortunately going to cost a little bit of time. Getting a little unlucky with the wind there and not managing to make the most of it, unfortunately.
Solid shot.
0 wind for JMBoltz.
Great approach.
CBTV with a very close shot here. It's going to be a replay. That's the second one for CBTV, and it does come at a very crucial time for JMBoltz. We really needed that. to keep this match alive for JMBoltz here. Takes us to 159. CBTV still with the lead though.
That's it.
Going into hole 12, what do we get? We get 0 wind. Opting to play the right side. Conditions are good to do so. JMBoltz getting 18 west, another really strong wind. Is that enough? That is in fact enough, and it is a very quick stop as a result. A very scary stop, but those are generally the fastest ones. CB with a fantastic eagle again on hole 12.
On the green.
But those couple of replays are going to keep JMBoltz in this here.
Good birdie. Great approach. Good par.
CBTV going in the bunker there.
Nice
north
shot.
east for JMBoltz. JM unfortunately going over the green there. CB making a no rebound 10 dog. Actually getting a brilliant slide out of that bunker there. Fantastic to see that. JM bouncing off the pole.
Nice approach.
Gonna make a par on hole
Great
14.
par.
So we have a strong east wind here for CBTV. That curve has really paid off. What a fantastic shot that is. JM needing a red line here. CBTV with the eagle on hole 16. And actually playing hole 17, we'll see if it pays off. This looks like a good approach shot. Going to be a little far from the hole, 13.1 meters away. And oh my goodness. So close to making that shot there. And you can tell because that did not go too far at all as a result of missing.
Good birdie.
So CBTV, barring an albatross here, unlikely to make a 5th sub-11 in a row. It was just too good to be true. Sometimes you just do not get the conditions, and those couple of replays made all the difference as well. But it does not matter, that is going to be round 11-13 for CBTV. And that does mean CBTV wins this match 3-0. And we'll be moving on to losers round 4.
Great shot.
JM choosing to go the right side here. This will be JM's last hole of the tournament. As this is the losers bracket, this does mean JMBoltz's run has come to an end. But this is a pretty good run for JMBoltz. JMBoltz seeded in the lower half and getting just past that point. So
Nice
yeah, it's a positive result here as JMBoltz finishes up.
Great birdie.
I forgot to undo the timer, but we will get a confirmation of time. 11:59. 11:13 and 11:59. So that is the end of the match. CBTV wins 3 games to 0. If any players want to join us for a post-match interview, you're welcome to do so.